Oh boy, you ain't even see it yet. Your man got the bedazzled on and everything. He ain't playing coming to the city, baby. Coming to the AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah.
Throw your homies in the sky, from side to side. Okay.
Give your girl a. Yeah, man. You know who it is.
Ball suckers.
The familiar. We live.
Big Flea. Never the little ones.
Yeah. And you know what this is.
Knicks Rehab.
Come on, man. No games out here, man. It's a special episode. First one, we indoctrinating it. The initial one. College ball, all ball madness out here. To further review, we got our guy, Lenzell Graham, the UNC master out here. He knows everything about the UNC history. Don't play any games. From Vince to Jordan, Sam Perkins. What you want to do? Lenzell Graham, welcome to the AllBall family, baby.
Salute, family. I appreciate y'all, man, having me, being a part of this. And I'm ready. Let's get it.
Let's go. Y'all see the thumbnail,
no.
man.
Well, hold on, because we can't just do that like that. Lenzell, part of the AllBall TV family now. Just please, if you could, give the people who you are and what you're bringing to the table, and your expertise on college basketball, especially North Carolina.
I got you. So, I mean, to make a long story short, as a kid, I always just followed in my father's footsteps. So growing up, he was a Knicks fan, a Giants fan, Yankees, and the Tar Heels. So I just kind of followed in their footsteps, and ever since then, it's stuck with me. Just kind of grew up around that Charles Oakley Ewing, as y'all can see. I got the throwback Ewing on, nice. So just kind of grew up in that era with John Starks, probably one of my favorite players. And just kind of always stuck with the Knicks, man. Just been a diehard fan, even though we really didn't have much to cheer about in the past or whatever. But the things have turned around, things have changed. We get ready to make some things happen and move forward for sure. But just being in the North Carolina area, man, being a Tar Heel fan, actually living probably 20-30 minutes from the college now. It's a big area down here in North Carolina, man. So we I just kind of just grew up on all of the history, man, just following everybody and, just what Carolina is all about as far as morality and things and how they value players and all of that. So, I just kind of apply some of that to my daily life because Carolina is a different school, man. It's not like, some of these other schools that just want to just grab players and, just use them to try and win championships, things like that. So, but Carolina, they really take pride into their players, and that's the reason why we got a long history of greats that have came out of Carolina, went into the NBA. Of course, Michael Jordan, greatest player to ever play, and Vince Carter's and the Phil Fords and James Worthy's, and the list just goes on and on. So. Just a big avid diehard Tar Heel fan. So, we got some things in the works here coming up soon. So I'm happy to be a part of the AllBall family. I appreciate you fellas. This is a great opportunity for me. It's an honor to be here with you guys. I've been rocking with y'all for a minute. And, we just reached out and we just put some things in play, and we're gonna see how we can do things. See what. Let's move forward. So I'm here. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Yeah, because Flea gets on me about not watching college ball, so I'm excited just to be the novice and
Yes.
Speaking of college ball, speaking of the Knicks, you see the thumbnail. Tyler Kolek has put quite the impression on us as Knicks fans. The young man, the Marquette, the Marquette. Well, I'm sorry, he didn't go to Marquette. He went to
Yeah,
George
Marquette.
Mason. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so Marquette.
Yeah, Marquette. Yeah.
He started off at George Mason. Not sure if you've seen him at George Mason. I won't say underrated. He was supposed to be a first round draft pick, but get into what do you think you saw about him in college that maybe he should have been a first round draft pick, and maybe why he dropped to the second round?
Well, now I didn't really see him at George Mason like that, because George Mason would be considered like one of those bottom tiers. Marquette is kind of a little bit more upper in the upper echelons, I guess you could say. So I really started following him a little bit more and knowing about him when he got to Marquette. But I can say, man, Tyler is a warrior, man. Like he looks like a small guy, but he's got some grit to him, man. He really do. You would think he's a New York guy by the way that with his attitude and just the way that he just expresses things on the court, and he's not one to do a whole lot of talking. He shows it on the court. So but he was real strong at Marquette. I will tell you this. I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but he was actually in the top 10 as far as National Player of the Year candidates last year. A lot of people don't know that. I think the reason why he fell out of that top 10 is more so, he caught an injury, and that kind of he was out for a little while, and I think that kind of dropped his stats and everything a little bit. So unfortunately, you don't want to see nobody get hurt. But I tell you, man, he came back in the tournament, which by that time it's a little bit too late, because now you're trying to get back into the flow, into the rhythm of things with the team, and it just didn't work out like that for Marquette or whatever. But Marquette had a pretty good team, being coached by Shaka Smart. Shaka is a good coach. He's a really good coach, and he's moving in the right direction with that program. But Tyler, man, Tyler's a beast. The Knicks fans is gonna love Tyler Kolek. They definitely
You already
gonna love
do.
him. So
Let me get in here real quick, man. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Like I said, we're gonna try to be doing this every Thursday. Like I said, college edition, AllBall TV. With the expert aficionado, my guy Lenzell. Also, Flea watches a lot of college basketball, knows a lot of college ball. So let me ask you a question. Guys like Tyler, right, that get kind of lost in the sauce. Do you think it's because he wasn't a big recruit in college, or the flooding of foreigners and the overseas guys, where it's almost like the NBA is like almost too excited to go look at a guy that's 6'10" overseas than looking at seasoned guys like Tyler that was, player of the year and things of that nature. What do you think the problem is as far as with college basketball and guys like Tyler slipping late in the second round?
Well, I do think with the NBA, man, they do focus on a lot of foreigners, as far as coming from overseas and putting them into the draft. The thing with Tyler, like I said, with Tyler, man, he really could have went in the first round. I think the Knicks that got a steal with him, to be honest with you. To see him go that low in the second round was really shocking, just because of, following him a little bit throughout in college basketball and seeing how he, like I said, how he carried himself on and off the court, his game, I mean, it fits the Knicks style. But I really do think that the injury really put a halt on things when it came to him. Because The injury, I think that injury made him miss maybe a month and a half. And that's a lot of time, especially, coming into the preseason, he was one of the names that people was talking about as far as National Player of the Year candidate. As a matter of fact, he was right behind Zach Edey, ahead of Dalton Connect. But as you can see, you look at Zach Edey, you look at Dalton Connect, they were like 1, 2. RJ Davis, he was like the third, but Tyler could have been right there with him. He just dropped just because of the injury situation, and it kind of hurt Marquette. But I think it hurts. I think it hurts teams a lot, when it comes to draft stocks, when it for that, because of like the foreigners coming in. A lot of the times, these teams just want to focus on the foreigners more so than they want to focus on, the college kids here in this country. You know what I'm saying? So, but this was a weak draft class. Let me be clear. This is probably one of the weakest draft classes that I've seen in a long time.
Hey, Lenzell, on here, we keep it 100%. Let's be for real. This is the worst draft all time. Simple and plain. We ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. Okay. This draft was terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, it was. Couple good players out of it, but it was bad. It was bad. Man. I don't. Some players did. I understand some players going early. I really do. Because, I mean, they, with this class being as weak as it was, these players felt the need to say, hey, let me go ahead and go now, because next year you're going to have an influx of players coming out that's going to be crazy. I mean, you really are. And, NIL is really changing college basketball. And that's really starting to affect. That's affecting people with the drafts and things like that, because a college kid now, nowadays college players are looking at it to where, okay, if I can go to the draft, but then I can go to the combine, maybe get it. I might not get a drafted like that, so I may have to go to the G League. Whereas in the G League, I don't know really how much that they make in the G League like that. But a college player can go back to college now and make $2 million like a couple of the players are doing now.
Hey, Fabian, can I ask him a quick question before you dive in here? What the NIL, right?
Right.
I heard, big shout out Deion Sanders. I heard him break that down. To me, he's the NIL king. To me,
right.
Prime time in today's era, he would probably get $1 billion NIL deal, right? And I think nobody else understands it more than him. Also a Cam Newton, which I heard break down. Can you break down the NIL deal? Are those legit? So when they say, when you see something posted, so-and-so said player got $1 million NIL deal, are these kids really getting, excuse me to say kids, are these young men and women really getting $1 million NIL deal? And if they are getting it, how were they getting it? Like how was it broken up? How does it work?
So what I'll say is I'll give you a prime example, like being a UNC fan, Armando Bacot. Armando Bacot made $2 million at UNC. Now, he may have gotten, and I'm just throwing this out there because I don't know the exact numbers for everything, but Armando had he may have gotten like $1 million from North Carolina. But then all of the rest of it comes from like advertising, like Audi, what's the mortgage one, the mortgage company where he was in the commercials, so it comes from those things and a lot of, and he had like, he was into like 5 other things. He was on it's a TV show that they got on like Netflix. He was in that. Like put it out there, and it's just based off of like name, image, and likeness, basically. So
hold on, Lenzell, real quick, Fabian. The only reason why I'm asking is because, like, you see how you said this young man has a lot going on. I hear and see about all these young men and women with all these NIL deals, and of course, you see like the Angel Reeses and the Caitlin Clarks. You see where their money is coming from. I hear about a DeJuan Wagner Jr. getting $750 from Kentucky, but I don't see him in no commercials. I don't see him endorsing anything. So that's why I asked, is this money real?
The money is real. The money is definitely real. Now, granted, some players, like I said, because some schools offer different NIL packages and things too.
Okay.
And a lot of it may come from like sponsorships, as far as like at UNC, you got like the Rams Club. That's like a big alumni group of people that really kind of come together, and you know they put money in for NIL to dish out to the players and things like that. So, you know, some players a lot of players not gonna get $1 million. Some players is getting 500. Now, keep in mind that is taxed. So by the time they tax it, it drops it down a little bit, which is why you see a lot of these players probably asking for, you know, these big numbers that sound outrageous for a college player. But in all perspective of it, I guess, or whatever, they're not. It is being taxed. So if they getting $2 million, they may get maybe 1.3, something like that, 1.4 maybe. But then that rest of it is going to come from like endorsements from that companies endorsing to the school itself.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Like at Arkansas, you got Tyson Chicken. The man, I think it's like the big guy down in Arkansas is like the owner of Tyson Chicken. So therefore, he's putting that money into Arkansas for John Calipari to bring them players in. But not only that,
stay there, Lenzell. Because we talked about this beforehand.
Let's get
you know
to
what?
it.
Yeah, because scratch all them other topics.
Hold on.
Me.
Fabian, please, real quick, before you go in, we got people in the building. Please explain real quick, if you give it a minute or two, of what we're going to be doing up here with Lenzell. Please, because I want people to understand it's not going to be only college basketball. It's also going to be talking about the ins and outs and, things we about to be talking about now.
Well, we just teased it with the NIL deal, and then we're transitioning into how Tyson Chicken has a mainstay over there in Arkansas and in the college route. So we want to talk about the same way we go with the NBA. We go deep dive. We just talked about James Dolan and how the small market, the small local sponsors are going to be affected in the NBA, and the NBA is trying to get rid of them for the national sponsors. Lenzell just broke down how the local sponsors are going to really put the money into these colleges. That's brand news to me. I didn't even think about that. So these little intricacies, we're going to be on here every single Thursday night, 7:45 p.m. All ball madness, all college with our guy here, LG2, Lenzell Graham, and of course, you know who that is. He's shining real bright today with that bling on. Big Flea.
Get in here, Flea. Yeah, no, he at the airport.
I think it's delayed.
Yeah.
This reception in this fucking airport got me so goddamn pissed off right now. But
it's all right.
I'm gonna do my best. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, get in here. We just introduced you, man. Talk to us about the NIL deal right now. Lenzell just talked about how Tyson Chicken owns Arkansas, and they swooped in, got Calipari to go over there to Arkansas. We knew that was a big deal. Jalen Brunson was like, whoa. That affects us, that connection between Calipari and the Cosa Rosa. What do you think about that? What do you know about that? Like, what do you feel about the NIL deal in general?
Well, I'm gonna ask my question because I ain't get a chance to ask Lenzell a question. Y'all up here being cute with him. No. He's family, so it's time. Like, initiation is over. It's time. Let's get busy. So, Zell, because you ain't Lenzell no more. Zell, what's up, baby? Talk to me. Listen,
What's going on?
Calipari is the new head coach in Arkansas. He's bringing in a lot of money down there, obviously through the Tyson brand, as you was mentioning.
Right.
How fast can we expect Calipari to turn that program around? When do we expect there to be real attention on the Arkansas Razorbacks?
The attention is already on them. Only because just off the strength that Calipari is now in Arkansas. How fast can he get it turned around? I give him maybe a year or two. I give him maybe a year or two because I mean that it's hard to say this. I'll say this. To me, Calipari is I gotta watch how I say things. Calipari is okay to me. He's never went down as a great.
He a fraud. He a fraud.
Yeah.
You can
No.
You can say it.
Okay.
He's
a fraud.
He a fraud.
Okay.
He's a fraud.
Okay.
You could say it.
Calipari is a fraud, and people give him too much praise. That the man has, in his coaching career, only won one national championship back in 2012. So, if one.
Hey,
Uno.
And so,
Zell, hold on, Zell. Y'all, when you gonna get to know me, I'm always gonna play devil's advocate. Can we be fair and say Calipari is coaching for a different reason? He doesn't care about championships.
what other reason would he be coaching for?
Business. He's getting guys in the NBA. When we talk about how many All-Stars has been produced under him, maybe he's coaching for that reason and that reason only, with his connections, getting guys, to the next level. And that's how his name is staying out there, with his connections and things like that.
So then,
definitely,
Mr. One and Done.
So then being a great coach you can't attach being a great coach to him no more. Like if he's not worried about winning, if he's worried about business, if he's just you could be a dot connector, you could be a handler. What? Go do that. If you're not worried about winning no more, get off the sidelines. You can impact NBA players without being a coach, if that's the case.
okay. I mean, I was just playing devil's advocate. Go ahead, Zell.
Let's also keep in mind.
I know.
Look, let's also keep in mind that he's best friends with another fraud named Jerry Jones down in Dallas, Texas.
Break it down. Hold on, but first, before you get into that, Fabian was, we was getting excited. Break down the Tyson chicken thing and how that's going to play a major factor in Arkansas, and also do they have a big name coming to that college already? Like, who's some of the big recruits that you already hearing either in the portal transfer or from high school that's already looking to go to Arkansas?
So the Tyson chicken thing is more so of a billionaire basically dumping a lot of money into the school and they distributing it out to the players. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, when people say, "Oh, he's going to Arkansas," the first thing they're saying is, "No, he's not going to Arkansas. He's going to get that chicken money." That's just what it is. He's going to get.
They're gonna get that chicken to another level. Wow, Arkansas, though. All right.
Yeah. So not only that, but you got that guy bringing in money from this end, but then you got Jerry Jones on the other side dishing money into it as well.
No, don't move too fast. Jerry Jones is also dumping money into Arkansas basketball.
Yes.
Wow.
Jerry Jones was dumping money into Kentucky when he was there.
Oh.
How long has this been going on? Hey, Fabian, you hear this?
I mean, honestly,
hold on, Zell. No. Hey, Zell, hold hold on.
Hold on, yo,
Wait a
Ball.
minute. Wait a
Is this
minute.
for
OG,
real?
OG, wait a
Hold
minute.
side, hold
Nobody,
side.
nobody knew this
Zell,
until this year.
Zell, you got the floor. Hold on. Everybody in the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share. This is the first episode. AllBall TV Madness, College Edition, every Thursday with the legend Zell, the legend Fabian, the legend Flea. This
Legend
is what
All Ball.
Yes, legend AllBall. This is what. Do y'all hear the information in what we're about to be talking about on the first episode? We need y'all to understand that this is about to be major. College Edition, college basketball, and somewhat is bigger than the NBA. Just like college football.
Yeah.
So please, we need y'all to share, like, comment, subscribe. Zell is in the building, AllBall TV family, every Thursday night. This is going to be so legendary because he's going to be breaking down college basketball from a basketball aspect, a business aspect, an entertainment aspect. You have the floor. Now, I just have to say that, Zell, because people really need to understand, what we're doing with this platform and what you're about to break down, which I had no knowledge of. And please, I need to know how long this has been going on with Jerry Jones and Calipari. Please.
Like I said, it's one of them things that's been behind the scenes for a long time.
Wow.
Long time. Nobody ever knew this until this year when it came out. And this whole Calipari debacle of him, Kentucky and the fans not wanting him there to now going to Arkansas and all of that, and it's just created a huge, like, what's the word I want to use, like kerfuffle. Like it's created a windstorm, man. Like, to be honest with you, and like I said, the whole Jerry Jones thing jumped out this year when he went to Arkansas, and that's when they started mentioning the Tyson chicken. But then they also brought up Jerry Jones, and that came out, and nobody really knew that. And it's kind of, after it was mentioned, they washed it under the table, and like, you haven't heard nothing else about it. So it's been, I would assume that it's been going on for a while, which is why it makes sense that Calipari has gotten nothing but one and done players and only has one national championship.
Wow.
If you ask me, like, I think you mentioned it not too long ago, Calipari don't care about national championships. It's more of a business thing, I guess, to him or whatever, and money. I mean, the man was making, if I ain't mistaken, close to 18 million, I think, at Kentucky.
Wow.
So now, with Arkansas, I think he's going to, it might have been a little bit less than that, and he might be making 18 now at Arkansas. But it was around that number. But it makes sense that
$8.5 million at Kentucky. I look up Arkansas is slated to pay Calipari around $7 million a year. So it's a pay cut, but to your point, judging by all this, is that really a pay cut? What's going on back there?
No, it's not a pay cut. That's not a pay cut. They don't want to put that out there like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The NIL is going to they're gonna regulate this NIL stuff here very soon. So a lot of people, they better get it while they can now, because eventually it's gonna be regulated, period. Because you have some schools like a Murray State or a George Mason, like you mentioned earlier, they don't have that bag like a Duke or Kentucky or Carolina or Kansas or anybody had. So they're going to regulate it. They're going to regulate it, and it's going to be to one of those things like, hey, kids can only make this amount of money.
Right.
They can only do this amount of this stuff. Now, what they make off of endorsements, then that's for them. But as far as a limit, this is what they can make. And it's going to happen here soon. I think right now the NCAA is backwards. They're backwards because they're doing a lot of stuff that they have no clue on what they're doing. So they're trying to get it right. and you know they keep fumbling every year on something. They do something stupid every year,
So
and they're
Zell,
just behind NIL. Yeah,
so is it possible that Jerry Jones has been dumping money into Kentucky? Can we go all the way back to like John Wall, Anthony Davis, and all of that?
it's a possibility. Like I said, this has all been swept under. This has all been like swept under the bridge for the longest. It just came out. Nobody knew that this year. So
And
they
people still started to cut you off, and people still don't know it. Like even though you said it just came out, I didn't see it come out nowhere. Not on no network. I haven't seen it on social media. None of that stuff. So you on AllBall TV, Knicks Rehab, you are breaking news right now. And this is what I need.
and I'm
I
hearing
will go ahead.
and I've heard these from certified sites, from certified people.
Wow.
Like
Oh no, it's here. Right here. This is NBCSports.com. Jerry Jones' role as an Arkansas booster, credited for helping to hire John Calipari. He's an Arkansas alumni, actually. So Jones, alma mater Arkansas, has hired coach John Calipari away from Kentucky, and Jones' status as a booster has been cited as one of the reasons that Calipari walked away from a college basketball blue blood to coach the Razorbacks. But now, see, they're not really diving into the connection with him at Kentucky. Something happened over there. And of course, you have Jones played college football at Arkansas and remains involved as a donor. And in the new world of college sports, where so much success hinges on convincing players that wealthy donors will hook them up with lucrative NIL deals, a booster like Jones is attractive to players and coaches alike. Broncos owner Rob Walton is also an Arkansas graduate, and he too has been named as an Arkansas booster whose presence makes Arkansas attractive to Calipari. Walton and his family, the owners of Walmart, have deep ties into the state and the university.
Damn.
Walmart and Jerry Jones are involved. Listen, Lenzell, this is
I'm
my
not. Listen,
the
I'm not
Bojin
speaking
Jet
nothing.
dot connecting.
I'm
That's
not
my
speaking.
lane.
I'm not speaking nothing that's not already out there. Like, so,
Wow.
I mean, it just so happens it came out this year, and you can't tell me that Jerry Jones ain't put no money into to him coming to Arkansas, that he ain't help him with some stuff at Kentucky. John Calipari is not that great of a coach. One national championship since 2012. What are we talking about here?
But
What we
so
talking
I
about?
think I still do believe all ball's point is, bro, this guy at the end of the day, part of your job as a coach, if I'm not mistaken, again, I'm a novice at this, a neophyte, if you will. Calipari's a great recruiter. He got NBA guys going in there.
The best.
I give him that. You give credit where it's due. That is a fact. But everybody knows. I can tell you now, if John Calipari, if this season is a bust, then it's gonna really speak on what kind of coach he really is. Because John Calipari got great players in the portal this year. He got great players in the portal.
Name a few, because once again, a lot of us are not up on, we know about the college players that, of course, everybody highlights. But name some of the great plays that you're saying that's going to Arkansas.
So I can tell you, John L. Davis is one of the big ones. Is probably like he's in the runnings for preseason National Player of the Year.
And do me a favor,
$2 million.
Will you name these players? Please name where they're coming from or where they're from, city, and then, like you said, if they do have these NIL deals, please. Thank you.
So, John L. Davis came from FAU, and he was like one of the leading scorers in college basketball last year. And now he's at Arkansas. I think he has a $2 million NIL deal.
I say his name. I'm sorry,
John L. Davis. And then you got Jonas Edey, come from Tennessee with Rick Barnes. I don't know really what his NIL is. I just know that they swooped him out from up under Carolina because Carolina was looking at him. Mainly because he's from Durham, which is 30 minutes, of course, from where I am too. And before he went to Tennessee, he wanted to go to Carolina. He's always been a Carolina fan. So Arkansas swept him right from up under Carolina because he was going to Carolina.
Stay there. You're a Carolina dude.
Right.
How did Arkansas sweep him from North Carolina, which is North Carolina is, when you talk about greatest college or just sports in general, North Carolina is there. So why would he go to Arkansas instead of North Carolina?
My only guess is money. Because number one, Carolina's in this still to this day is still in need of a center. Jonas Edey is about 6'10", 6'11". So they still need a center to this day. He would have had amazing playing time. He would have probably started.
Now, Fabian, Zell, this is my point. This is why Calipari is who he is.
It's money.
He's able to get this. He's able to get this kid from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Who would rather go to Arkansas than North Carolina? So once again,
Right.
This is what I'm saying. With Calipari, it ain't about championships. It's business. So go ahead, you can finish. But I just wanted to say that. That's why, I wanted to play devil's advocate. We can say what we want about Calipari. He's going into the Hall of Fame.
So real quick, this is John L. Davis we were talking about, right?
Yep.
Wow, look
So
at the
John L.
Davis.
And we kind of pocket watching, but we understand in the game. As of 2023, John L. Davis boasts a net worth of $9.2 million, reflecting his success as a prominent figure in college basketball. Wow. In 2023, John L. Davis secured a remarkable NIL deal worth $368,000, showcasing his strategic prowess in negotiations with zero financial commitment. See, it speaks to the sharks in the water. The fact that you have Jerry Jones involved, Calipari involved, and Walmart, that Walton family is dynasty over here in America. So everything you're saying is just amazing. I'm totally intrigued by this. Where could you?
But that's why they're gonna regulate this NIL stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna regulate it.
The way you speak on it is like the NIL is a PPP loan.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
It's like the PPP loan. Get it while it's hot. But I don't know, because if Jerry Jones is involved, it's gonna take a while, in my opinion, Lenzell. And this is just me, forecasting, because I don't know anything about college ball, but I do know about dot connecting over here. I mean, do you hope to see a change? What would you like to see changed about it that would regulate everything?
My thing is, I don't think there's nothing wrong with these young guys getting paid for that, for playing college basketball. $2 million is a lot of money for a kid that's 19, 20 years old playing college basketball. So something more money than that they will make in college than rather going to the G League, or going to the draft. Some players, their dream is to go to the NBA, but if they're making more money in college, then they're gonna stay in college until they. And that way they can kind of boost their stocks up to go to the to the NBA. It's kind of like a catch-22, because for the very simple reason, it is a good thing because it does keep kids in college a lot longer instead of being a one and done. At the same time, it hurts. It could possibly hurt their chances moving forward going into the draft.
Zell, can I?
Or anything.
I'm gonna say this. I love the NIL deals. I don't care how much money they're getting, right?
Right.
I think $2 million is not enough, especially when it's being taxed, right? Let me explain. You have some of these families that are investing into their kids' futures from the age of 8, 9 years old. They're not being compensated. They got to feed these kids. They got to send these kids on flights. They got to do a whole lot, right? So just think about a parent from the average ghetto, right? Hood or whatever we want to call it, that is single parents, co-parenting, and their kid is in basketball from the age of 8 to, let's say, 15, 16 years old, until you're able to understand that this kid is going to be someone, and now they don't have to pay for anything. Just imagine how much money the parents are paying throughout that journey, right? They're not getting compensated back from that. So now these young men and women get an opportunity to help their families out, take care of themselves. And let's not forget, these colleges, these schools would not be making no money if it wasn't for set players going there. When these young men and women have big social media platforms, they're bringing attention to your school. So remember, now we're coming to the school to watch. We're buying the merch. We're buying the food. All that is billion-dollar business yearly. The player's not even getting 10% of that. So for me, I have no problem with the money. My thing is, how long can this last?
That's the reason why it's going to be regulated. It has to be regulated here soon. It has to. Like Michael Jordan is now the head NIL sponsor for the University of North Carolina.
Okay.
That's what
what does that
all
mean?
athletes.
So what does that mean? Explain
Meaning that Michael Jordan takes a certain amount of money and dump it into the school for players.
Hold on. The same way that Tyson Chicken and Jerry Jones is doing with Arkansas.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The difference is, to my knowledge, Tyson Chicken and them are dumping money into basketball. They wasn't doing that when they had Eric Musselman, who was the coach before John Calipari, who now coaches at USC. They wasn't dumping money into the school like that. So they're dumping it to basketball because of Calipari. Michael Jordan is dumping money into the university as a whole. So now the money that he dumps in, it's being spread out between football, baseball, basketball,
volleyball,
everything.
Lacrosse.
Not to mention all the sports, basically. But let's also remember that any player that I know for sure, if you go to Carolina, gets unlimited Air Jordans for the rest of their life.
Wow.
Any player. So that's already a perk. You know how much Jordans are nowadays, and you get an unlimited lifetime supply, all because you went to Carolina.
Now, does that go? And I'm sorry, Fabian. I'm so excited for this. Does that go for the top recruit all the way down to the 15th guy on the bench?
Absolutely. Michael Jordan's been doing that for years, decades, because he went to Carolina. So he got his own big shoe brand that kids to this day still love.
Yeah.
So any player that goes to Carolina, as soon as you get on campus and recruits, like if Carolina's looking at a freshman or a senior in high school to come in for next year, when they come and take their pictures and stuff like that and post it on their page and stuff, they got on a Carolina jersey, Carolina uniform, and a fresh pair of Jordans on their feet. They're not gonna turn around and get them Jordans back and put them back in the shoebox and put them back in the closet and save them for the next player coming in that they're gonna take pictures of. No, you get them; those are yours. But now, imagine if you come to Carolina and sign and commit to Carolina, you get an unlimited lifetime supply. I don't know what kid wouldn't want that, but this new generation, they don't view that as that. Not only if you get in the shoes and everything, because that's not what it's all about. Because Carolina is a prestige program. It's, I mean, you go to the Smith Center, you see 100 jerseys up in the rafters of everybody's names: Jordan, Carter, Jameson, Worthy, Perkins, George Lynch, and I mean, whoever, Montrose.
Is Rashawn McKen's jersey up there? You hear me? Is Rashawn McKen's jersey up there? Big shout out.
It is, but I'm gonna be honest with you.
Legend.
We don't talk about Rashawn McKen's around here. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, that guy.
We saved that, Fabian. I think we giving him too much in the first episode. But go ahead.
Now that you gotta put that in the tuck. Come on, man.
Nah, this is great. I love it.
So
Fabian thought I was gonna be camera shy.
No. What I'm saying is, you never turn that camera on. You listen, superstar in it. First thing I'm thinking about as you guys are talking, Barkley always laughing at the fact that he was at Auburn, who ain't get paid. He always laughing about that. So it's not like they haven't been paid before, right? But the most important thing about this, why I think the NIL deal is important, is that now you're gonna have a documented paper trail where we can all read. Okay, you giving money over here, giving money over there, and you know how Twitter is. You got a billion investigators basically on live TV. Like, yo, hold on, connecting the dots in real time. They solve murders, all kind of stuff on Twitter, right? That's important for me. Mm-hmm. Also, you just spoke about it earlier. Why was there a Euro League influx in this year's draft? Why does that continue? These kids, Luka Doncic, all I ever hear about, he's been a pro since he was 13. That's all I've been hearing about. Well, I mean, pro to me sounds like you got paid legally. Okay, let these kids get paid. Right. Let us get our Luka Doncic on. We have talent, man. What is going to motivate them though? So I totally believe in this. I'm not. Do we expect to see a Euro influx into our colleges next? Because this is a lot of money.
Believe it or not, a lot of schools now are going overseas to bring in players.
Wow.
A lot. I mean, that is, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that's gonna get bigger. That's gonna get bigger. Carolina is looking at a player right now from New Zealand, 7-footer, 290, because they need a center. All of the centers are gone out of the portal.
Wow.
So they need somebody to fill that Armando Bacot role. They don't have nobody. And now Harrison Ingram is gone. He's with the Spurs. Bacot's with the Jazz. Cormac Ryan is with the Thunder. All of that is gone. Now, don't get me wrong. They got a lot of good key pieces that came in, but they haven't filled that center position yet. And so now, like I said, it's not just Carolina. This is the first time Carolina has ever done it as far as going overseas, going across the pond. But a lot of schools are going across the pond now. A lot of. So you're going to see more foreigners as far as foreign players in the draft in college basketball. You're going to see that a lot more. It's already happening. So
you know what I'm thinking too? And I'm always I'm jumping off the cliff. I think a lot of these foreigners is better off going to college, because when they go to the NBA, they're getting exposed, and a lot of them is not going to make it.
Right.
And I think a lot of these 6'11" guys that's not tough but got skill, the money they can make in college will prepare them for the NBA. And look at the number 1 and 2 pick. No disrespect. Go ahead, Lenzell. Go ahead.
Now, let me hold you. Let me stop you on that. There is a stigma to players that come from overseas coming into college. I'm not you. They don't call it an NIL deal, but players from overseas that come to college don't get paid. They don't get NIL deals.
like a foreign exchange. Like back in the day, have a foreign exchange student. You send a student over there, we get a student. Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't know how they actually do that just yet, as far as like what they're gonna do, as far as if they're gonna start paying players, that come from overseas. But at this moment, players from overseas don't get paid like NIL deals and things like that. They don't.
Dog. That is insane. Yo, you talk about, again, going back to why it has to be regulated. That's why I think it won't be regulated. And I truly believe, I'm not sure how profitable the G League is, right?
Right.
How much more profitable is college going to be for them? I looked it up. The NCAA makes $1.5 billion a year, or it did last year. The NBA makes, I think, 10 or 12 billion. How much of that is being funneled towards the college? How much of the college recruitment and Jerry Jones tied to these guys? Is it worth it having the G League anymore? When you just have these NIL ain't nothing but like a Nike sponsor, or whatever it is. They're giving you everything. Man,
they're gonna keep the G League. They're gonna keep the G League.
All right. So speak to that. Speak to how do you keep the G League around if you already have an NIL deal and these kids are pros already at 18, 19?
Because number one, for a couple of reasons. Number one, the G League keeps players on that path to possibly being in the actual NBA. So even if they don't get drafted, they're still somewhat part of the NBA because it's the G League versus them packing up and going overseas to play in China. A lot of them just would rather stay local. And if I'm not mistaken, the G League, I think it pays.
It says 40,000. Just looked it up.
I was about to say about 40, 50, maybe 60,000, something like that. So, but it's still that in the back of your mind, like, yo,
I'm one step closer to the league.
I still may be able to get in there if I play well. Like, I just got to work harder.
But Zell, this is where a guy this is what makes Calipari who he is. Knowing the right people favors. Remember, Calipari is not in this position and coaching all this time with one championship at the top schools for no reason. I've heard Calipari has the power where he can call GMs. Hey, I need a favor. You got the whatever. Yeah, you got the whatever pick. Take my guy. Now, of course, the John Walls, Anthony Davis, the Randalls, all those guys that was coming through Kentucky. Some of them you ain't got to make that phone call. Right. But this is where if you have a relationship with Calipari and like you're in the G League, Calipari can make that move for you. So that's why I was saying earlier with Calipari, and I'm gonna be honest, and I want to ask y'all, and I would please hope y'all just be honest. Right now, if you had a young man, great at basketball, can get to the next level, would you rather him go to another school or would you rather him play for Calipari, knowing Calipari's track record as far as him getting guys into the league and, him producing so many all-stars? I don't care who goes first. What would you rather? Once again, I'm going to ask. The field or your son going to Kentucky or Arkansas playing for John Calipari?
Go ahead.
Hell no. I want to hear what you got to say. What the hell am I? You got the expertise, man. You crazy?
I say that I think I wouldn't want my child or my son to go and play for Calipari.
Wow.
To me, the main reason why is because, and I'm not saying that because I'm a Carolina fan. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm looking at the Dan Hurleys of college basketball. I'm looking at the Hubert Davises. I'm looking at the Scott Drews of Baylor. I'm looking at, there's so many other coaches in college basketball.
Zell, do they produce NBA players and NBA All-Stars though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Dan Hurley.
Now, break down because Stephon Cassell out of UConn. I've been watching him. Spurs. I'm excited about that. Break down the differences between maybe recruiting. As I say, Stephon Cass. I'm sorry. Stephon
Yeah.
Castle out of UConn. They won back-to-back chips. Explain the difference between what a Dan Hurley is doing, because he's considered top tier. He's the royal coach right now, if I'm not mistaken. That's why the Lakers have offered him that much money. But what is the difference between the Dan Hurley, not just coaching style, recruitment, everything, versus a Calipari that you'd prefer him?
Dan Hurley, as they call him in the college world, is like he's a maniac, as they call him. Dan Hurley gets up in your grill. I know, I'm sure everybody knows Bobby Knight.
Yes.
You know, Bobby Knight was one of them. Bobby Knight will throw a chair at you and bring you off the floor and then hit you with the chair.
That's Coach K's OG.
Right. So Dan Hurley is not to that extreme, but he's on that level. And the way that Dan Hurley likes to be in control, which is why he's where he is. You know, Dan Hurley win one more. Think about it like this. If Dan Hurley wins one more championship, he's on the same level with a Roy Williams.
John Wooden.
He's up there with Bobby Knight. Well, John Wooden got 10. So, I mean, nobody will ever get to his level.
But hold on, Lenzell.
If he wins 3 in a row.
Right. If he wins 3 in a row, he's tying this. It ain't been done before since John Wooden.
Well, that's true. That's true. I thought you was talking about as far as like the number of championships, because there's tiers. You got like the John Wooden, Coach K. Then up under that, you got like the Roy Williams, Bobby Knight.
Dean
up
Smith,
under that, you got like
guys.
Yeah, Dean Smiths, Bill Self, all of them. So there's tiers. There's tiers. Jim Calhoun.
Hold on. Rest in peace, the great George Thompson. We ain't gonna forget my brother.
John Thompson.
John Thompson. Sorry.
But John don't. I don't know if John has a lot. John is not on that. I don't think. As a matter of fact, I don't think John Thompson has.
He got one. He got one with Patrick Ewing.
Okay. But so Dan Hurley is already past John Thompson. He's got more championships. Calipari is on that John Thompson level. If you ain't got but one championship, you're on the bottom of the bottom.
Zell,
like,
hold on, because I really want to hear, why would you not let your kid go and play for John Calipari?
I don't like John Calipari's methods. John Calipari probably had the best team last year, and they blew it and got beat in the second round by Oakland, a school named Oakland. Calipari, he played like 13 guys last year. Then he had all the talent in the world: Reed Shepherd, Rob Dillingham, Antonio Reeves, Adu Thiero, Aaron Bradshaw. He had like 3 centers, 7-foot centers, just about. And you couldn't maneuver that? You couldn't beat nobody? His methods is what's wrong.
Reed Shepherd and Dillingham were both up for Player of the Year.
That's crazy.
Kentucky had a really good team. Kentucky always has a good team. But if you got all of these good players, then what's the common denominator if you're not winning?
I'm gonna make AllBall laugh.
What is for the past? I think I heard the stat that for the past 4 seasons, maybe 5 or whatever, Kentucky hasn't went past the second or the Sweet 16.
But I'm gonna say this before Fabian makes me laugh. Calipari can guarantee your kid is going to the NBA. I know people don't want to hear that, but to me, that's what makes him who he is. Look where the 2 players you named They probably some of the best players in this year's draft, no matter how weak it is. And Calipari has the power to tell you as a parent, don't worry about it. He's going to the NBA.
Oh boy, that iPhone contact list. He's sitting there recruiting. He goes, "You want to talk to who?" That I think that's very persuasive for a 17, 18-year-old kid.
Hold on, you love John Morant? I can call the owner of the Grizzlies. That's where you want to go. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So I know you don't like to hear that, but we kind of like to just keep it real. This is what goes on in the world today. And of course, us as parents, we want, I understand that sounds crazy, but listen, at the end of the day, some people, they're legendary for certain things. I think Calipari.
My gripe for John Calipari wouldn't be what it is if it was really just about business. If it's just about business, then I get it. I totally understand. But when it comes to basketball, no.
I understand.
And if it's about business, hey, that's the reason why he's still right now the one and done guy. It's just what it is.
Oh boy, Calipari don't remind you of anybody. Mr. One and Done, switches teams all the time. Always has the right talent around him.
He's the LeBron James of college basketball.
Listen.
Hey, hold on, Lenzell, hold on. Please let me introduce this right. Lenzell's the biggest LeBron fan around.
We're gonna have a blast.
I gotta get out of here. Bro.
Listen.
No, I'm not. OG. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. I can't stand LeBron.
Oh my God. So, look. He said, we're brothers. We're loving and we're loving. Give me your
Ebony and Ivory.
I can't stand LeBron.
Hold on. What's the song Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney?
Ebony and Ivory.
No, it was another one. Say
man.
what you want, but please don't leave me for it. Come on, man. Wow. This is
hates his guts. And now look, he hates LeBron, and then the LeBron of coaches, same energy. Lenzell has a thing about, the right way.
Yes. Well, I don't know, I'm gonna have to jump off in a minute.
We could go forever right now, bro. This is too crazy.
But for me, I just want to say, to the chat, what Lenzell is about to bring to this platform is going to be like nothing else. And these are things that I want to hear and I love to hear, because I think college basketball, man, when 100 years from now, when they really delve and dive into college basketball, it's so much of a dark world. It's like Star Wars, bro. And there's so much going on. And I just really appreciate you breaking it down for us, from the business aspect to the players, to the coaches, to the NIL deals, to the culture. Because what you just said about Jordan, I didn't know that. I didn't know any of that. So, brother, man, this is going to be great, man.
It just happened.
So, but still, you breaking that news on AllBall TV, because I didn't know that. And our fan base, man, everybody in the chat, share, like, comment, subscribe. Lenzell, AllBall TV family, we're gonna be here every Thursday breaking down college. And listen, bro, I can't wait. And he's a diehard Knicks fan, and he dislikes LeBron.
No.
Listen,
no, he didn't say dislike.
No, I know. I don't want to use the H word. Listen, we like stepbrothers. Listen, man. Listen, oh man. Listen, bro. You got Michael Jackson, the Paul McCartney in the flesh.
Step Brothers just a little different color. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it.
Listen, man. AllBall TV in the building. Fabian, I know y'all probably gonna stay on for a bit and probably talk a little bit more about Tyler and some of the other, college ball players probably that the Knicks drafted. Listen, man. Till next time, every Thursday, y'all. And y'all know every morning Knicks Rehab. Out of here. AllBall TV, suckers.
So Man, that was a fascinating. Like, you don't understand. I'm super into that off the phone, wherever. Flea will tell you I'm a lunatic when it comes to, just connecting the dots like that. I'm gonna deep dive into the Jerry Jones, his involvement with Arkansas, Calipari, and Kentucky in that deal.
Yeah.
But I did ask you beforehand. So far in the summer league, who are your top three, or maybe just your biggest pleasant surprise in summer league that came out of college? You ain't expecting to be good, and you're like, hold on a second, he might got something here.
I would say Bub Carrington. Bub Carrington is he's killing it right now. I mean, he's from Pitt, came out of Pitt. Right now he's averaging 19 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 42% from the three. 6'4", 195. He's gonna be a superstar, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Wizards got a great pick on that. He's gonna be a superstar. He was a star in college. He was only a freshman in college at Pitt.
This who you and Flea was talking about the other day?
Yes. Bub Carrington.
How you spell his name? Bug, B-U-G, or
B-U-B. Bub Carrington. B-U-B Carrington.
Oh, where's he? Where he's from Pitt? Because Bub is a ill down south name.
Where's Bub from? I don't know exactly where he's from, but he went to Pitt. Played with Jeff Capel. He's coaching.
And you think he's going to be a superstar?
Bub is going to be a superstar.
Wow.
He's going to be a superstar.
Is him here posting up. Oh, he ain't playing no games, right? Okay.
Bub's going to be a star, bro. He's going to be a star. Yes, sir.
Was there somebody else that caught your eye that pleasantly surprised you?
Yeah, Harrison Ingram. Of course, Tar Heel from San Antonio. He playing with the Spurs right now. Ingram is killing it right now out there.
So Ingram and Stephon Castle are going to be with the Spurs, and you like Ingram. What about Ingram do you like about the game that he could provide for the Spurs? Because they were really missing a point guard. Is he a small forward?
Ingram's probably going to play the small forward. Yeah.
Okay, I know Castle.
He could play the forward too, because he's strong.
Strong kid.
I mean, the boy he's averaging double doubles, shooting like 37% from three. I mean, he's been lighting it up, man. I think he had one of them games not too long ago, 16 points, 10 rebounds, and he's one of them. He averaged double doubles. Yes. Yeah.
So the Spurs, I'm very excited about them. I thought AllBall hates Greg Popovich, or hate is a strong word, but he thinks he's overrated. But anyone that knows that the Spurs in the last several years, they always beat the spread. So they played competitive on the low. And I think, conspiracy theory, they got some gambling ring going on over there in San Antonio. But that's far-fetched. But the point is, they waited. I think in the NBA, it's not college basketball where you could recruit whoever you want or whatever it is. The recruiting is done differently through drafts, trading the right pieces, collecting the draft picks the way that they have. They just got another draft pick just now. I forgot who they just traded away. Oh, I think in the Harrison Barnes deal. Sacramento gave them a draft pick to take on Harrison Barnes' money. So they're also
Carolina natives.
Harrison Barnes
come from Carolina. Jersey's in the rafters.
Wow.
And Harrison Ingram.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Jersey ain't in the rafters, but yeah, because he only played 1 year at Carolina, but because he went to Stanford before that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a big Harrison Barnes guy. I lost some money on him. Too many missed shots. So you got two, right? A guy Bub Carrington, Harrison Ingram out of North Carolina, Bub Carrington out of Pitt, And who do you have a third guy who's pleasantly surprising you?
Of course, I would say Tyler Kolek. Be on the watch for him. But beyond Tyler, I would probably have to go Khalil Ware in Miami. Averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds, shooting 40% from the 3-point. He's 7 foot, 240. Miami got them a nice little pickup right there for him to be beside her. And Miami picked up in the draft. They got some really decent players in the draft or whatever. But Khalil Ware is going to do good beside Bam. He's going to do real good beside Bam because he's a 4, whereas you can leave Bam in the middle and you put him at the 4 or whatever. He's one of those that can step out and shoot that. I mean, 7 foot shooting 40% from 3. That's crazy. Not a lot of 7-footers doing that.
Yeah, he looks kind of crazy. Let me see.
Yeah.
I like you. Oh, that's not him. Okay. That wasn't him going around. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's him.
He can shoot.
Yes.
Where was he drafted? You know what pick he was drafted?
I don't know which pick. I know it was first round. Yeah, he's gonna be crazy. He's gonna be crazy.
and what school did he go to?
Khalil Ware went to Indiana.
Tall kid, man. 24 points, 9 of 12, 10 rebounds. I mean, we all know it's just summer league, but you can see a lot of talent there. Like the kid Mark Williams that when he went to Duke, right? And he's with Charlotte now, the Charlotte Hornets. He has a lot of talent also. But this guy's a little more mobile than Mark Williams. Yeah. He's a little more mobile than Mark Williams.
Khalil Ware is gonna be crazy.
And that's alongside Bam. Are you surprised that they drafted him since they went to the finals with 20,000 second-round draft picks? You know what I mean? Like they have a system there. That's not just Spoelstra being a mastermind coach. That's a mastermind scouting division over there. Are you surprised by Miami?
I'm not surprised. Nah, I'm not surprised at all because whenever it's time for Bam to go, like Khalil Ware is gonna be, he's another one. He's gonna be a star, man. He's going to be a star. He's gonna be like your next Kevin Durant. I don't know if he's bringing the ball up the court and all of that. Bro, 7 foot at 40% from 3, not from the field, from 3 at 7 foot, 240. And you mobile like that, dunking all over people? Nah.
Why you trying to scare me, man? Why you trying to scare me, Miami and them? Like they came back reloaded.
And like I said, Miami got some really good picks out of the draft. Keyshawn Johnson, he's another one. He's strong, man.
What school? What school you going to?
Keyshawn went to Arizona.
Okay.
Went to Arizona Wildcats.
Real quick, we got when our members leave some messages, we got to read them up. They're going to try to regulate NIL because most black athletes are going to benefit the most.
Fact. But not all.
Spoke about that. And we spoke on a different kind of regulations. Before I get to this other question, I want to load that up. The top 3 disappointments. 3 guys you thought this is no-brainer. They're going to do their thing in the NBA, and they haven't translated in summer league so far.
Yeah. Well, of course, we talked about it behind the scenes, man. Alex Sarr right now.
Oh man, I was talking him up the other day, and the same day he went 0 for 35,000. Thank you, Alex. Wow.
But I do think in the long run, right now he's a big disappointment. But I do think in the long run he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be all right.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
You hear me yelling? Oh no, nah. I was yelling at people not to slam dishes in the kitchen. We go live as Lenzell. We family out here.
I got you.
So if you hear me off mic like that, don't worry about it. I'm just yelling at somebody.
I got you, bro. I got you.
But Alex, I'm sorry,
Alex Sarr.
Alex Sarr just disappointing.
Yeah, I think, but I do think he's gonna turn it around. I do think he's gonna turn it around in the long run. Now, it might be a little bit too much pressure on him. I don't know, but at this moment, to go that high in the draft, that's a big disappointment. I would probably have to go with of course. I mean, do we even have to mention Bronny? He's going to be a disappointment regardless.
You think it's going to be disappointing because who is it disappointing for? Because it's just jokes for us that are just like we're used to LeBron doing something kind of doofy, and this is really just a bad publicity stunt. If it is like that, because if he does make it to the NBA, I just think it's a long shot. Either like I've never heard anything. If I would have known you 3 years ago, you would have told me Bronny ain't no All-American. I heard that from legit guys. We interview people when they were on camera, they didn't want to say it, but behind the scenes, all of them said his father got him that McDonald's deal. So we knew about it. Just you could see who was paid to say it on TV. Who is this disappointing for? It can't be for him. He got $8 million.
That's true. But keep in mind, he also had NIL at USC. So he already had his money.
Yeah, but this is next level. So that's why I don't consider him a disappointment. Even though you have a third guy real quick, because you just connected two dots that I gotta bring this up and see if this works out. See if I could put you in the first reaction video. You're gonna love this. Do you have a third guy who is disappointing in your mind? Like, wait a minute, I thought they would. Wait. So you thought Bronny would be something, a show more?
I thought he would be a little bit. I thought he would at least do a little bit more than what he is doing. I mean, just based off of everything that's been going on. I mean, behind the scenes with his father and all of that and stuff, and bringing him into the limelight, all of that. I thought he would have been able to do a little bit more. Sometimes sometimes the ball rolls that way, and then sometimes it don't. So the ball just didn't roll that way.
Only thing I'm disappointed in, I've been hearing about him being a defensive guru since USC, and to me that hasn't registered. Offensively, I didn't expect much. He scored 4 points a game in college, but defensively, once you throw out the name Lou Dort and Davion Mitchell, Lou Dort looks like somebody that you do not want to be running into at any point in time in your life. He looks kind of brolic. And he worked his way in the NBA, no left hand, and he eventually learned that. But he went to Baylor, right? Flea put me onto that. He went to Baylor University, Lou Dort, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So he was taught by, I forgot who the Baylor guy was, but I know Brad Stevens used to be there. So if Lou Dort learned the game, he got to the NBA through his defense. Then he learned some offense. To compare him to him is like, damn, you just put too much pressure on him.
So you mean Butler?
Oh, I'm sorry, Butler. Yes. My bad. Butler.
Okay, when you said Brad Stevens, I'm like, no, Brad Stevens was at Butler. Baylor's got a Scott Drew. I got.
I think Lou Dort. I think Lou Dort went to Baylor. Hold on. Out of nowhere, Sting is in the building. This is our guy Dime Dropper right here. What's going on, Big Dime?
Yo, did my screen freeze again? I'm messing up the live.
Yeah. Yo, Dime, just if you want, use your phone because it has a camera on it.
I would say kick me out and I'm just come back in.
What do you want me to kick you out?
Remove me, yeah.
Well, you sound good, to be honest. This is kind of dope. You frozen. Let it catch up because you sound perfect. So we're just going over. This is our first college game. Look, you back on the screen. This is our first college show. All ball madness. This is a guy's gonna be running it. Lenzell Graham. Him and Flea gonna lead the forefront, putting us on. So everything that's going on in college, and we're talking about the three biggest disappointments in summer league so far, coming out of college for him. And so far he had Alex Sarr, which is, oh my God, Mr. Over 35,000. And of course, he said Bronny because for himself he expected something. And then I'm waiting for his third guy. Who's the third person out of college that disappointed you?
My third one would be Terrence Shannon Jr.
Mm.
Terrence Shannon Jr. to me, beast in college, but I think a lot of it, and now I will say this: I do think Terrence Shannon is that TSJ is actually going to pivot himself to the top. I think what really hurt him was the situation that he had to deal with and that he went through in college, where he was suspended for half the season.
Explain that, please. I don't know. Listen, I don't know nothing. I'm a novice out here. I'm a neophyte. Explain it to me.
So Terrence went through he was suspended around the beginning of the season for like half of the season because of a rape allegations.
Well, we gotta be careful with that. We're on YouTube. You gotta use
the
great assault. The great. Yeah, right.
The essay,
yes,
but
yes,
he went through that situation, and it cost him half of the season. Now he came back, played the rest of the season, but then right after the season, he was having his case, his court case. It was the trial and everything.
Right.
So he missed the combine. He missed all of that. So they didn't give him a chance to like really get some workouts in, things like that or whatever. And it's kind of like after that, of course, he was found out guilty. But after that, it's kind of like Summer League was starting. So he kind of just jumped into it instead of kind of like conditioning himself before the Summer League. So I do think that he's going to pivot up. It's just right now, it's a little bit of disappointment because he was just so good in college, man, so good. So, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Zach Edey, too much hype.
Whoa! Oh, well, you know what? He did have the first 2 games and we went crazy. We do have to see him in preseason because I'm just, real quick with that. To me, it's an interesting dynamic. If he does have any found success, I think he can not single-handedly, but he's going to have a lot of weight in where this direction of this league is going to go and the rule changes. Because with Wemby there, Joker there, Giannis there, a lot of big guys, you're going to have to start drafting guys who guard Wemby. That's just a fact. That's how we've seen it with Shaq. Then if Zach Edey is anywhere near prominent in the NBA, it changes the landscape. Because now you got a guy that can guard Wemby, and now we got to draft guys that got to guard Zach Edey, and that's going to start in college.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he's going to pivot like that in the NBA.
Okay.
I think because of the fact he was the tallest player in college last year, 7'4". Nobody else is that tall, so he hardly got in foul trouble. And that's only because, when players come into the paint or whatever the case may be, all he got to do is just hold his arms up to block the shot. So he wasn't a fouler. He didn't get a lot of calls fouled on him. Not only that, but on the flip side, that's on defense. Now, on the offensive side, who's going to stop him? Nobody is 7'4". How tall was he? 7'4", little over 200 something or whatever. No. 280, 285. Who's gonna stop that? You backing players down into the paint because he don't really have any game. It's just the fact that he's big. He don't have a jump shot. He can dunk, but you put him up against, like you said, put him up against an Embiid. I don't like Embiid, but I think Embiid would take him to school. Take him to school completely. He's going to foul a lot more because now you're dealing with somebody your own size, close to your own height. And there's just too many guys in the NBA that I don't think it's going to sit well with him. Look at Bam Adebayo. He's not going to be able to guard somebody like a Bam. Bam is just too big, too strong. Zach is just tall. Like there's a difference. He just didn't have nobody that could stop him in college basketball. He's too big. Too big. 7'4", tallest player in college. Yeah.
The,
So
the professional the professional
I don't
challenge
think
will present itself. The
yeah.
professional
I
challenge
don't think it's gonna
will
work.
the professional challenge will present itself. Dom, get in here. What do you feel the same way, or do you think Zach Edey has a chance at showing some of his prowess with with Memphis taking a chance on him with the number 7 pick it was, right, or 8?
I don't know.
Something like
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't come off like a great modern basketball prospect because like the slow foot speed, as he said, and it's not really a post up or like throw it to your big man down low league. But who knows? I think the only thing that'll save him is one, his defense being good enough, like his rim protection being good enough at the NBA level to keep him on the floor, and then also can he get a bucket in the post against some guys? That might give him a little role, backup role. But on this Memphis team is going to be very good, so I don't think he's actually going to be a rotation player this year. But why do you say that? Why do you look surprised, Fabian? This Memphis team is going to be good.
Who do you?
I think so too, Dom.
Go through it. Remind me of the roster real quick because this is
John Morant, Desmond Bain, Marcus Smart is still there, Jaren Jackson Jr. Who else? Are they starting someone at the 5 that I'm forgetting? Because they traded Steven Adams.
Exactly. I don't remember them replacing him. I looked them up real quick while
They
you
still have Brandon Clark. I don't know what's going to happen with Luke Kennard. Now Brandon Clark's going to be healthy for a full season. Man, who else do they have? It's not popping in my head right now.
Let's not forget a couple. Yeah.
Oh, GG Jackson.
Oh, GG Jackson is good. GG Jackson's been doing all right in the summer league, right?
Yeah. I forgot
what about
GG.
his game? What about his game stands out the most, fellas? And hold on. What school did GG go to?
South Carolina.
Okay. And what about him?
We not too fond of GG over here in UNC country either. So yeah, I mean he committed to Carolina and then he turned around and decommitted and went to South Carolina, all because he wanted playing time and all of that and stuff or whatever. And we don't promise you playing time over here at UNC. You got to earn it over here. Doesn't matter how good you are. That's one of the big things. That's one of the big things about Hubert Davis, man. Like and that's the difference between Hubert and Calipari to me. See, Calipari will be that one that'll tell every single player on his team, I'm gonna play you. I'm gonna play you. I'm gonna start you, and all of that just to get them to come. And they end up coming, and now look at it, it backfires on them. Hubert Davis don't do that. Hubert Davis tells you, no, I don't care how good you are. You're good, but you got to earn your position over here, and you got to fight for it.
And what has he done? What talent has he had, guys? Where it's translating to Memphis now? Because once John Morant went down, he got his opportunity, and he had a couple of star-like games this last season. And what is he doing so far in summer league that you guys think is gonna show improve next year? Go ahead, Don.
No, I don't know. I was just gonna respond about the Edey thing. I could be wrong actually. Looking at the Grizzlies roster, he might actually be tried as their backup center.
Okay, and you think GG will help out with it? He can pass, he can dish the rock off. Or is that gonna help out GG?
He'll come off the bench. Well, GG's minutes are guaranteed. I don't know how much Edey will help him, but he's gonna come off the bench, and I think he'll be good for them. He showed he could score this year. But I'm curious to see what they want to do with that 5 spot. Are they going to start Brandon Clark and then Jaren Jackson at the 4? Or are they going to start Jaren at the 5? It'd be pretty small if they start Jaren at the 5 and then Marcus Smart, Ja, and Bain. I don't know. They would start. They had that Vince Williams guy that kind of broke out last year. Vince Williams, Santi Aldama's not bad.
Santi Aldama, yeah, he's all right. Santi Aldama,
Spanish guy.
Yeah, he's a big brute.
And don't forget their draft picks that they just picked up. Cam Spencer, big player, come from UConn.
Another UConn guy.
Jaylen Wells.
Yeah, Jaylen Wells. I was just about to mention him next. Jaylen Wells they got some nice pickups as well. They got some nice pickups. So
they were both drafted in this offseason. So speak to them. Wells went to what school?
He went to Washington State.
Okay. Speak to their talents each individually, what are they going to provide the Grizzlies?
Well, let's see. So I'm looking at some of these stats here. Right now, Cam Spencer is he's 6'3", averaging 13 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 57% from 3. That's big. Like, that's 57% is
crazy.
That's crazy. So, and he's a UConn guy. So he has that grit. He's like Dan Hurley Jr. Like he has that attitude to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So and then, as far as like Jaylen Wells, and they're not doing too much or whatever, but he is a nice piece to be able to, kind of possibly put in the rotation, because he can get out there and score a little bit. He's not doing too much in summer league right now, but
he's a guard.
6'6". I would say, yeah, he's probably guard 2-3.
He's 6'8", you said? Oh, 6'6"?
6'6".
See, that's automatically that's tough, because it's Ja, Desmond Bane out there, Marcus Smart. It's a tough rotation to beat if they're trying to compete. And we're gonna find out sooner than later, if they're trying to make the playoffs. Especially, and all those guys are young. Steven Adams was the vet before they traded him. So 3 guys they drafted this year. I mean, that's big time for them. That's big time. I did want to get into this before we move on and we close out, because for your biggest disappointments, you have Alex Sarr and Bronny, and immediately, Don might drop off after he sees this video. Immediately, just Gilbert Arenas he loves doing this. He loves playing, he loves just putting out different videos defending Bronny out of nowhere. But this is his reaction to Jaylen Brown saying that Bronny won't be a pro, and they called him saying it.
Jaylen Brown. Do you know what they said about him in Summer League? He was the 3rd pick in the NBA draft. The 3rd pick in the NBA draft. The first 3 games, just like Bronny. Bronny was 6 for 26. Jaylen Brown was 5 for 26 from the field in his first 3 games in Summer League. He's fine.
That's a good upside.
He's fine. That's
a good upside.
Man, no one bashed him, and he was the 3rd pick in the NBA draft.
So that was Gilbert Arenas speaking to Bronny's performance, and just everyone bashing Bronny, specifically Jaylen Brown getting caught talking to his girl about, Bronny not being able to be a pro. I mean, what's your reaction to that? I think you spoke a little to that, Lenzell. But what's your reaction to Gilbert Arenas saying that, like comparing Jaylen Brown's first Summer League games to Bronny's?
I mean, look at where Jaylen Brown is now. Let me ask you this: do you think Jaylen Brown has lived up to his 3rd pick in the NBA draft?
Yeah, definitely, of course. So he superseded it, actually.
Right. So I think Bronny is going to show why he was picked at 50. What is it, 55? I just don't see it where Bronny is really going to succeed like that. He's just gonna. I think it's too much pressure. I think he's too young. I don't think he's ready. I think he's undersized, and this is a whole different ballgame. And let's be honest, we all know the reason why Bronny is in the NBA. There's no getting around it. Other than that, he should have went to I think it was DePaul. He was supposed to be going to DePaul after this year. But Duquesne. But he should have went there and got him another year of college. Bronny is one of them that's got to stay in college at least for 2-3 years. You have got to get you some experience before you jump into the league. Your father just pressured you into the league, into something that I think you're going to regret in the future. I just don't see it. Jaylen Brown is he's succeeded, as you said. You know, I mean, he's lived up to that number 3 pick. There was a reason why they picked him at number 3. There's a reason why they picked Bronny at 55. I mean,
And
what are we doing here? I'm Gilbert. Come on, man.
right, the usual. And real quick, college guy, what school did Jaylen Brown go to?
What school did Jaylen Brown go to?
He went to Cal.
Okay.
Dime wouldn't know. I left that for Dime. That was the layup for Dime. That was the layup for Dime. What?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, come on now. We know it's Gilbert Arenas. We know how you feel about him.
Part of the ACC now. So I know a little bit about Cal. I got to start studying Cal now a little bit because they did realignments. So conference realignment. So Cal is now part of the ACC, which I don't understand because Cal, Stanford, and SMU are now all a part of the ACC, which is the Atlantic Coast Conference. But you got 2 West Coast and 1 Midwest team now on the Atlantic Coast. I don't understand the realignment thing going on.
I smell another topic on All Ball Madness. Dom Dropper, dímelo. What is your reaction to Gilbert Arenas? You go right ahead and look at his face. He hates my bochinche talk, Lenzell. But he's involved. What do you think about him? Just the obvious, what he's doing, comparing Bronny to Jaylen Brown's first summer league games.
I think the part of the reason, besides the LeBron factor, that we're hard on Bronny is that a lot of people like myself and like he just said, they don't feel like he proved in college basketball either that he was an NBA player or that he was even an NBA prospect. Like people are going back to Sierra Canyon. And, I mean, dude, he wasn't even a top 2 player on his high school team. You know what I'm saying? Most guys that get drafted are usually the best player on their high school team. Granted, though, he went to a Sierra Canyon. But, like, I remember because one of the kids that I coached way back when, before, like 7 years ago when I was a freshman in college, he was on Bronny's middle school team. Didn't end up being at Crossroads. Didn't end up being on his high school team. But he said there were several better players than Bronny, even though Bronny was good. But this is at Crossroads. And they had some D1 guys. It wasn't like Sierra. So, like, I'm curious as to like how much in the course of his life has he been the best player on his team at a serious level. And I'm not saying it's anything wrong with not being the best. Maybe he's only good enough to be the best player like at like the rec leagues or the pickup or some club teams that he played on.
But stay stay right there, Dom. As opposed to how many times do you think Jaylen Brown was the best player on his team?
A lot. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I've heard. I don't know what it's about LeBron's past when he was in Ohio, but I know about what happened when he was here. And yeah, when he was here, I don't think he was the best player on many teams that he played on. So we're just looking for him to prove himself. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people saying nobody said Jaylen Brown shouldn't have gotten drafted. People are saying Jaylen Brown maybe shouldn't have been top 3. It's different when you have a guy that people are like, he shouldn't even be in the league. Because there's a lot of people out there that feel like I'm not even joking, but I think there's a lot of deep down, I think there's a lot of like hoopers, maybe D2 guys that, the politics didn't work out for them at their D1 school that legitimately think they're not that much worse than Bronny. And they think he's in the league. And I think there's a lot of bitterness towards that from fans. And then, of course, there's LeBron hate factor. People that hate LeBron are going to sadly root for this guy to, this kid to fail, which that's unfortunate. But yeah, I don't really care. For me, whether Bronny succeeds or not, I have no rooting interest or no interest in him failing or anything like that. I just don't think I agree with Lenzell. He should have been in college a couple more years.
Yeah.
That's it. I just love the fact that his father, I mean, it's their father's plan. Rich Paul's plan, the Lakers plan. The Lakers are a part of this too now. JJ Redick, you signed up for this. All the hate that kid is getting.
It's his plan, but it's also his fault.
That's cool. To me, it's only his fault.
Bron know his son ain't ready for the NBA. He knows his son is not ready for the NBA. No, he has to keep the limelight and the spotlight on him until it's time for him to sell off or whatever you want to call it. He has to keep that. But I guarantee you when LeBron retires, Bronny won't be in the league 2 years after that. I guarantee you.
The reason why I say I can't, you want to call it his fault or I think it's his plan, because if I know my son is not ready, I know my son. I know the league. I know the difference. I know what if he's ready to compete or not on this level, and whether he's able to succeed or not. I don't think it's in his control. I think that kid really wants to be good, by the way. I don't think he's not trying. It's just some people aren't good. It doesn't work out for you, and that's okay. But on top of that, LeBron is banking on, you know what? Things don't have to work out, and I'm going to go cash out just in case, because everything attached to my name has a dollar sign to it. That's the thing with this era that we live in. Everything is content creation. The Lakers know this. They're a reality TV show now. Reality TV show now, and they signed up for this. And then going back to Gilbert Arenas, I love this because all these players were complaining, all of them. And it started off with Draymond Green talking all that smack, new media, and all you guys are nothing but Skip Bayless. Nothing like it. Just like it. Right. Gilbert Arenas is Stephen A. Smith and Draymond is Skip Bayless. There's no difference. You guys just say things for clicks. That is it. There's no way you sitting here comparing Bronny James to Jaylen Brown. And then they had Jaylen Brown's first game. He scored like 10 of 20 from the field and was destroying. No way possible. And he's dead serious about it. He's a great salesman, just like Skip Bayless and just like Stephen A. Smith. I love this because we're the real. I'm going to get a real conversation from Dime. When Dime is disgusted, you saw when I clicked, you saw when he saw Gilbert in his face, Dime hates his guts because not him personally, what he represents. Like the whole kicking the old school while they're down. Like, I don't even know if Gilbert Arenas is serious. I know he's doing it for a check. You're trying to disrespect the old school for a check. You're trying to protect. You're not protecting Bronny. You're making money off him too. You doing this for clicks too. Stop lying to me. Who you think you fooling, bro? We from this town. We from the town. You ain't from our town. You from LA or wherever you from. We've seen 1,000 of you. You're lying. Who cares if Bronny James gets booed? He got $8 million. Please give me $8 million to be on this TV screen right now and go crazy. Are you kidding me? Gilbert Arenas is full of shit. And I love it because all you guys swore up and down that First Take was nonsense and Skip Bayless was nonsense, and all you did was fill the shoe.
I got a deeper rabbit hole, but I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm not gonna do that. That's an off topic, off air,
off the record
topic. But yeah, that's an off the record topic. But
all right, well I got
seen it happen too many. Seen it happen too many times. But yeah, that's yeah.
I like that. Yeah, Dom. I don't know if you caught the first part of the video. He broke down the John Calipari, Jerry Jones, Tyson Chicken, Walmart being involved in Calipari's move from Kentucky to Arkansas, and just everything with the NIL. This was our first episode. We did a little more overtime because you know me. It's Thursday night. I got the night off. I'm going bananas. Lenzell, Dom will tell you I'll be on here for 8 hours in a row. Don't mess with me. Your wife will be like, "Yo, what you doing?" Hey, for real? Who's that guy? You sure you talking to a guy over there? Yeah, me. He's going crazy. He's going crazy. But yo, man, officially our first episode in the Raps, All Ball Madness. We're going to talk about everything college basketball. Lenzell Graham, LG2, Flea. He's in flight, y'all. He shall be coming to town. You know the guy in the middle. That's Dime, Dímelo. And you know me, you know who I be.
I will say this, Fabe. I will say this real quick. If anybody wants to reach out to me on anything or whatever, then they can hit me up on my socials on Instagram or on X/Twitter, whatever. At 94 feet of UNC. That's 94 FTOF UNC. But if they want to hit me up, reach out, follow, whatever the case may be, I do respond. I'm not one of those that don't respond or anything like that. But we got some other bigger things coming up as well. So just be on the lookout for that. So we got a podcast and everything coming up. So we working, man. We working.
Yeah, man. And we will add that to the description. Look out for his future content. He's a UNC guy. Get ready. UNC based, North Carolina. No cackalacky in the building. Isaiah Jackson. Yeah, I did see that. Y'all heard about Jersey trying to buy the 76ers. crazy, and they want to put him in Camden. Nuts. Chill Will, appreciate you, my brother. Fellas, it's been
I got
all
a
love.
question for you.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you one question. I got a trivia.
Real quick. Okay.
Who was the last player to win national player of the year in college and won a championship the same year?
The last player?
Who is the last player to win national player of the year and win a national championship?
No, man. Tim Duncan ain't win.
Joe
national. I'm sorry, national championship. I thought you meant the NBA championship. Go ahead, Don. My fault.
Jaleel Okafor?
No.
Did he win national player of the year? No.
National player of the year. I don't know him enough. Let me see. All these champions scanning through.
The reason
Carmelo?
I'm gonna say the reason why I'm asking this, right? Because I'll go ahead and throw this out there, and this is for future people listening and everything. Always remember that a national player of the year, if a college player wins national player of the year, they do not win the national championship.
Christian Laettner.
No. I'm gonna say this.
Hold on. Carmelo?
Before or after Christian Laettner? Before or after?
Jalen Brunson.
Oh my God.
He was most outstanding. He was the best player of the season or just the Final Four?
No, he won national player of the year. And I thought
so. Josh Hart got Big East player of the year. Okay. Damn, I wouldn't have known that. That's crazy. Anyone, how dare I? He smacked me right in my face with this. Yo, Lenzell, don't get fired the first day, bro.
I was going to ask if he and OG was on here, but I was like, I'll catch him the next time. That'll be a question I ask him later.
Flea loves those. Yo, we out of here. Stay on, fellas. Stay on real quick. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.